Good morning, everyone. Today is March 26, 2021. This is StockCast, your pre-market show. I am your host, James Mason. With me is Todd Derby. Todd, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. We got some ugly weather last night. Winds, heavy rains. Some of those Alabama tornadoes came up from Michigan last night.
Okay. Thank you for the weather update, Todd.
You're welcome.
Anyways. Looking at the pre-market here, the Dow futures are currently up 107 points, S&P 500 up 9 points. And as it stands, we are looking to come out the gates looking bullish. But again, today is Friday, and y'all know how Fridays can be. So sorry for running a few minutes late this morning. Todd had to go take a poop, and we were waiting on him.
Oh, my gosh. Not true. 100% not true.
Okay. Yeah, so, and Todd, there's really a whole lot of nothing to talk about with pre-market this morning. There's very, very little news, and the news out there so far, at least that I've seen, is nothing.
Yeah, we've talked about slow mornings, but literally our first sentence to each other this morning, we started talking before we got on air, was this might be the slowest pre-market so far this month.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even see anything that I would even like to trade today. I mean, there's some continuation on a few tickers, but I don't feel like chasing pennies really. But other than that.
And sometimes that's okay because you personally have had a great week. APAP trade. And then I've had 4 green days. 3 of them have been strong. One was literally a break-even day, a little over $100 a day, but the other 3 days were solid. This is one of my best weeks of the year. So you don't have to force anything. We don't have to jump in and make something happen. If it's not there, sometimes the best trade is no trade at all.
Absolutely. And we are coming into the time of the season where, volume starts to kind of dry up overall in the market with spring and summertime coming up. And, things will get slow, especially in the penny stock world. I mean, it is what it is. It's just one of those seasonal cycles that we go through. But, I mean, it's never really stopped me from making profits. I've actually really made most of my profits during the summertime, especially when it comes to shorting.
Well, once we get to the point where the market makers are doing their normal run up and then tickers that fade have these all day fades, if you're able to have an account that can short stocks, it's a opportunity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, Todd, let's talk about the rumor that Microsoft is thinking about buying out the Score.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Well, honestly, if Microsoft can pull it off, and for everyone who's listening right now, let us know in the comments what you think about this. Is it good or is it a bad idea? But me personally, if Microsoft can pull it off, this will give them a social media platform to where they can make larger moves in the future. It will connect them with a younger audience, which I feel that Microsoft has struggled with over the last 2 decades, really. So, I mean, golly, what would this do to Slack? I mean, would this literally just phase Slack out? Because in my opinion, I personally think that this Score is better than Slack, even though overall I don't really like the Score. But that's just my personal opinions on it. I mean, it's a huge move. I mean, the Score is already valued up to $10 billion already. We're not talking about a small acquisition here. We're not talking about some nobody fintech company. I mean, we're talking about the Score. Personally, I don't like the Score just for, different reasons. I feel like the Score needs to focus on their verification a lot better too many bots are on it. I think if they could get that under control, that would make their communities a lot better, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my personal opinions on the score. I mean, on the business side of it, if Microsoft can pull this off, I think it's going to be huge.
It definitely signals a thought that they want to move into the social media market with their existing products and membership, that they would rival Twitter, Facebook, and become Snapchat, TikTok, wherever they're doing. They move into a marketplace that's going to give them a different name. So right now, it's just a rumor that I've heard. I haven't seen anything anywhere of any solidify the news.
Yeah, honestly, I think for Apple to really counter it, I think Apple should honestly just buy out Transparent Traders.
because we are a social media mega giant. I like that.
Hey, I mean, I like that idea. I don't know what anyone else. Actually, I wouldn't care what anyone else thought. Yeah. Apple would buy us out.
And to be completely transparent, I'm biased. So, but go ahead, write the check with lots of zeros. I'm in.
Exactly. Like, we will rival this score, and I don't care.
Yep. Me and I will still do our pre-morning market show, but we'll have waves lapping in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we did tell people yesterday that we'd spend some more time reviewing some tickers. Do you want to hop in there and?
Yeah. Today would actually make for a perfect day for that, since again the pre-market is flat out dead.
So again, people have to understand these are tickers that we have not researched. We have not done any pre-study on. We're literally writing these down. We throw them out here. We pop them up and we start talking about them. And we're just giving you kind of an instant snapshot of what we think is going on. So again, this isn't advice. This is just, and we're not doing any research on news, SEC articles, et cetera, et cetera.
Just raw technical analysis.
Raw technical analysis. So the first one is GNOG. George, Nancy, Oscar, George.
Right. Last update on the short interest. 926,000 shares, 1.4% of the float being shorted. So nothing big right there. Their outstanding shares in their float are jacked up, meaning that they have been selling shares. So outstanding shares last recorded 36.9 million, float 64.2 million. The news, let's see if we have any catalysts off the top. So some earnings. Really don't see anything too significant off the top. We are talking about online, gambling, gaming. So really there's only so much you can report here. Now, technical analysis. So what I don't like here is that 9 EMA line crossing over that 200 EMA line. That's what we have to watch out for.
You don't have your chart up.
Oh, thank you. There we go. All right, so here we are. GNOG. This is daily chart. What I'm concerned about here is that 9 EMA line is already crossed over that 200 EMA line, and that is not looking too well. I mean, we can literally see that MACD is rolled back over red. So all signs are pointing bearish on this. But, I mean, if we really break it down, how much lower can we go? Really the furthest point, right? Well, we can go further than this, but in context to like support after this mega run back here, we are looking at about $11.30. So we're still 3 points off from that, but nonetheless, this is really going to depend on, if you're trading shares or contracts on it. If there are contracts on it, let me check real quick. All right. So there are contracts for it. Long term with shares, I think this will be all right. I'm not sure exactly why they're experiencing this sell-off right here. And again, this is on the fly. So, with further due diligence to understand why this sell-off is taking place, could really hone in my technical analysis on what exactly is fundamentally going on right here. But just generally speaking, this is to a point to where we are approaching these overall support ranges. And taking shares, in my opinion, if I was going to trade something like this, I'd be okay with it personally. But the current setup is looking bearish. So that is just what I see for ticker GNOG.
So quick little side note about Golden Nugget. Here in Michigan, the online gaming and the sports betting opened up here, I want to say a few weeks ago. And you can't watch a TV show or drive down the highway without a billboard with some type of ad. And people who are non-gamblers are like, oh my gosh, another ad. I saw it last night for the first time. And the CEO was on there talking about their services. But I can name you 7 other companies that have been pumping the snot out of the base here in Michigan. And so they're late to the game in marketing their ad, or they're not putting as much money into it. So I don't know what that means, other than just that they're not one of the big players that are investing in Michigan when they just opened up.
Yeah. I usually don't trade these casino stocks for the most part, since they really don't move a lot. Like it takes something significant for these things to really take off running. I mean, you're talking like some kind of like acquisition, merger or something. Other than that, like really what catalyst could really propel a casino stock, in my opinion? I mean,
new markets opening up, but like in the country.
Yeah. I mean, really, in my opinion, it's just me. I think that, casinos, they control the money, really. I mean, they're their own ATM machine. They write their own rules, write their own checks. They should lobby Congress, change the laws, and start putting, the digital casino machines in like elementary schools, like right at the cafeteria lunch line. So that way when the kids are going through, they can put their dollar in, play the slots a few times. Hey, if you don't make no money, you just don't eat lunch. But I mean, that's really a cash cow market right there that I would approach if I was them. So
kids are stealing dimes and quarters.
Anyone in the comments, if you support that law right there, let us know in the comments. Hey, I don't care about your morals. This is about business. I think it's a good idea. I don't know. Todd, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's time to move on. Take a look at.
Hey, when you don't have anything else to talk about at Premarket, you just gotta make up stuff.
Let's start passing out brownies laced with marijuana also.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Aej Apple Edward James.
Aej?
Yep. Well,
is that correct? Aej. I hope that ain't correct.
No, it can't be. Let me see if I can find it. Let's take a look at another one. Look at they asked about Baidu, BIDU. They want to know if Baidu is a good ticker to day trade. And while James is pulling up the chart on that, I'll tell you, one of our partners trades it, watches that stock every day. It's on his watch list every single day. So,
it's definitely a good ticker to day trade. This thing moves at least a few points daily in either direction. Swing trading right now, it is obviously in a downtrend. And you can see with that gap down yesterday, it is not looking well. But pre-market here, we can see that it is gap back up. So the sell-off yesterday, gapping back up this morning. And for a day trade, what I would look for is that white non-EMA line right here to physically cross above this 200 EMA line before I would personally make a bullish entry. And that's just for a day trade. So yeah, Baidu, ticker BIDU, always does make for good day trading. But if you're thinking about swinging it, in my opinion, the setup is not there to really get a good solid entry for a swing trade without really, flipping a coin, to be honest with you.
All right. The other ticker was AEI, Apple Edward Indian.
All right. AEI, last update, short interest, no data. Share structure, 8.5 million shares outstanding. The float, 2.1 million shares. So low float. Let's see if we have any catalysts on top of the news. So nothing really too significant. Just skimming the top of the news. I do see back on March the 15th where they're talking about an investment. It doesn't really look too significant though.
Something happened back in the middle of February 16th. It ran up to $29.49.
It looks like it just IPO'd. So it could have just been that initial IPO hype.
Okay.
I could be wrong though, but I mean, based off of TradingView's chart right here, that's all the data that I have for it. So I'm just assuming it just IPO'd. I don't know anything about this company.
Yeah. The question was, can this be a $30 stock? Is it possible? And the answer is yes, because it hit $29.49, but something, and now it's gone from almost $30 to less than half of that. So
yeah, I don't see it being a $30 stock anytime soon. They need a significant catalyst.
Yep. And we don't want to pull out the magic crystal ball, and we can only ask that. We only allow so many questions a day, and we don't want to. Till we know more, we don't want to waste that question on that today.
Yeah. I can only rub it 3 times a day.
Take a look at XBIO, X-Ray, Bravo, Indian, Oscar. That's actually one. I think we had this on the alert list.
Yeah.
And it triggered, and then it hit the stop loss. And I assume they're asking because maybe they got in it, but they didn't get out of it.
Okay. So I actually just took a foothold position in yesterday just from using some profits from APOP. And really, that's not like a buy signal. That's just me. That's just me having, screw it money. I'm just throwing in some money here. I got a position just to have a position. If it goes down and I expect it to go down, I'm cool with that. I'll just average in later on once I start seeing it kind of level out. But if it bounces here and goes up for any reason at all, or if a surprise catalyst would happen, then cool, no big deal. I just have a position based off of profits that really it just creates a situation where it's of no significance in my portfolio. But looking at the 5-minute chart here, hopefully we can see this non-EMA line cross above that 200 and get that bullish momentum back into it. The small cap world over the last few days has just kind of really been selling off. And let me show you, the small cap world in terms of like the biopharmaceutical tech companies. So this ticker right here, and we'll go back to XBI in a second. This ticker right here, XBI, this is the Biotech ETF. So you can look at this ETF and kind of see where this sector is kind of heading. How's it moving as a whole? This is kind of like the equivalent of SPY for the general market. So we can see these biotech companies breaking down right here and selling off overall. Now that 9 EMA is crossed back above that 200. We want to see it stay back above there, get that bullish momentum back into play here. And that just in general will help these small cap bio companies keep pushing with the bullish run. And if they have a catalyst, that just makes it all the better. So this ETF again is XBI, X-Ray Bravo India. So let's go back to XBio. Now, long term, I am very bullish on this. This one might be another multi-week and multi-month swing trade, kind of like APOP was. And that's really my plan here, is to pull off another APOP type of trade with XBio. So that's why I just decided to get a starter position here. And I'll play this either by it going up, breaking those critical trigger ranges for me to really start getting into it deep, or I'll let this thing just run whatever it wants to do and just slowly add a small position over time. And what I mean by that is not doing it every day, maybe once a week. It just really depends. If I just get extra profit money, I might just kick back some profit money just to stack on top of my already position, just to build it up. So that's how I'm approaching this ticker XBio.
Excellent. Take a look at probably might be our last one here. TRVI. Thomas Robert Victory India.
Someone's either been looking at my watch list or they watched that the course and found this. I have been watching this one. This one gets super low volume. There's not really anyone looking at this. I've just been trying to find a solid catalyst in the company before making an entry here.
The person who asked me about this, talk about this today, told me that or said there was a catalyst coming in Q3/Q4.
Yes, that's true.
I asked him what the catalyst was, and I haven't got a response on that, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Crap, hold on. If I'd have known this ticker was popping up, I could have had that catalyst up. Let me see if I can hurry up and whip it up really quick. Give me like 15 seconds. Okay. So this guy right here on Twitter, and I will actually, let me get this link. I'll drop the link in the chat for y'all. Not sure what those lines are right there, but all right. So let me drop this in the comments for y'all. This link right here, this is a catalyst for ticker TRVI. There's seriously like no volume on this. But the catalyst that is coming up, that's being talked about, is going to happen in Q3 and Q4, and here it is. I haven't really, dug into it 100%, but I've just kind of been really just kind of like skimming over some stuff on this up for a future trade. If it seems promising, I would kind of expect that I would start entering this probably late June, July, somewhere in there, and start building a position. But so many things are going to depend on this, really. If I start to see like volume increase in this, I'll just make an entry just to have one, just in case.
I was going to say the trigger for me will be volume, watching the volume, because or we really catch wind of it.
Yeah. So yeah, again, the catalyst is a ways off for this one, but there is a catalyst here, and again, nobody is talking about this, but I will be talking about this in a few months. So somebody has been paying attention in here. I like that.
Okay, last one. Just talking about this morning, some of the stocks that have taken off and have run have been the China educational stocks, and particularly two, WAFU and EEIQ. WAFU took off hard, but it's already made a pretty significant pullback.
So you said WAFU?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, this thing stinking hit 36.76 and died. Oh, there's no way to explain. I mean, this thing just died.
Yeah, it did it in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Hit a high of 36.76, like you said, and then literally 3 minutes later, it hit 1907. I mean, it cut in half.
Yeah. Yeah, so if anyone jumped into this and caught it at the top, you're screwed. There's no other way to sugarcoat that. I just hope that you're not heavy in it with shares.
That would be hard. That was they all happened between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. And I don't think a lot of people listen to our show are trading between 4 and 5 a.m.
True.
There could be a small handful. But I know even you and I aren't necessarily trading between 4 and 5 a.m. And I get up at 4 a.m. to take a look at stuff.
Yeah. Even jumping into this one would have been hard. You'd had to have been sitting on top of it you definitely had to have been in already to catch this. It just happened too quickly.
Yeah.
And even to catch it after that 5-minute candle, you would have still have had to have known about this company. And I've traded them in the past, and they are notorious for these like spikes like this. I haven't caught a spike like this. I've gotten some petty ones, but not like this. But yeah, you'd have been sitting on top of this thing to really get upside down in it.
Well, James, that's your fault then, because that's your job to give us these black swans, and so we can have a 25-point run.
I know, right?
And have sell orders ready. So when we wake up and drink our coffee, we like choke on it because we just made $200,000 on a recent trade. So
everybody thinks do something like very smart, intelligent when it comes to trading or whatever, that have some kind of. Everybody thinks my algorithms are like real algorithms, and I keep telling people it's not. It's not, guys. They think I'm joking when I tell them it's really just my grandma just giving me alerts herself, and I just push her alerts. My grandma's algorithm.
I actually thought it was Alana playing with the alphabet blocks, and she when she brings you a letter,
down,
and you tell her to get her another one, and she brings you another letter, and once you get a 3-4 letter combination that works, you're like, that's it.
Well, I'm grooming her because grandma won't be around forever. Just saying.
There we go.
You gotta keep it going.
Appreciate it. Anyway, the levity this morning is because it's a slow market, and so don't force a trade. Don't be silly today. If you've had a good week, enjoy your profits, and be safe in your trading today. Yeah, definitely. So again, guys, it is Friday. If you've had a great week trading, don't screw it up on a Friday. That's the worst thing to do, to screw up a great week on a Friday, because you have to dwell on it for 2 days. And that's tough. It is tough. So, y'all trade safe, keep those sizes small, and we will see y'all Monday on the next one. Thanks, everyone.